Hello and welcome. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace an IAC valve, known as an idle air control valve. Okay, the tools you need for this job is a locking plier, a ratchet with an adapter for a 10mm socket and a 7mm socket, and an idle air control valve. This is going to be quite easy. Okay, for the location of the idle air control valve, it's located right here, right next to the EGR valve. Symptoms of a bad idle air control valve are rough to poor idling, engine stalling, and if you have a check engine light and it comes out a codes of P0505, then this is your problem right here. The first thing you're going to do is disconnect this. Take it out of the harness right here, out of the screw. Push it to the side. Now it has two bolt screws holding this, one on the top and one underneath. Now on your car, if you have one of the screws long like this, you might have a minor problem. The reason why is because this right here, the socket, I'll show you right now. It fits, but the screw's coming out from this side. And in the back of the socket needs to fit this, so there's no clearance. So to get that to move, here's a little trick. These ball locking pliers. Oh yeah. To lock this on the socket, once you get it locked, all you have to do is just loosen it. Just make it loose. Don't take it all the way out, because you want to remove the bottom first. Because if you remove the top, and then you go for the bottom, remove it, this might fall. You're going to have a hard time picking it back up. So just loosen the top, but not all the way out. But remove the bottom. Now, the bottom screw is not a problem as lengthwise, because it's just half of this. So that's no problem. But to get down there, it's a tight squeeze. You're not going to make it. So I see a lot of people, what they do is remove this, the EGR valve, and that's too much of a hassle. You remove this, then you have to remove this right here, the vacuum line, another vacuum line. It's just too much bullshit. The shorter, easier way is to remove the EGR solenoid. This part is quite simple. All you have to do is remove two bolt screws. 1, 2. You don't need to disconnect this if you want to, but you really don't need to. Go ahead and use the 7mm socket and start loosening these things up. 1 and 2. You just push this to the side. Now you have access. The 10mm socket, what you're gonna do, start removing this. Then with your hand, unscrew the bottom. Here it goes, here's one. And now we can go for the top and unscrew it by hand. And we remove this piece of shit. Now we compare the two parts. The old one is on the right, the new one's on the left. Looks like the same part, the same fit. Here's the new one right here. As you can see, the inside is clean. The valve is clean on the inside. Now here's the old one. Look how dirty it is. Full of deposit carbon buildup. And that right there can cause the valve to get stuck open, stuck closed, or don't move at all. So I forgot to mention, each valve, new valves, comes with a gasket. But this gasket right here looks good. It's already on it. There's no pieces missing. See, from the old one, there's nothing stuck on it. No pieces of gasket, so that's good. So I don't really need to replace that. But when you replace yours, and if it gets stuck, and you rip some of it off, then you have to replace it with the new one that comes with. Now we're gonna put everything back in reverse order. Make sure both of them are hand tightened before you tighten it with the ratchet. Okay, both screws is hand tightened. Now we go tighten it with the ratchet. For the top, since the screw is long, I'm going to use this trick again. Okay. Next, before you put in the EGR solenoid, make sure all your little vacuum lines are connected. These right here. Because moving and whatnot, you probably disconnect one. Like for example, you see? I disconnected this. But it's in here. It goes here. So I just reconnect it and we're good to go. Put the screws back on the EGR solenoid. The second screw. Once it's hand tightened, then you just go ahead and tighten them up with a 7mm socket. The second screw, tighten it up. Just reinstall the connection. But before installing, I advise you to clean this with an electronic cleaner. For me, I already cleaned it way before. I keep good maintenance on my car. But if you're gonna do this, make sure you disconnect the negative cable from your battery. There you go. And there you have it. You have just installed a brand new auto air control valve. High five, motherfucker. So if you like today's video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If not, just give me a middle finger.